Hi, my name is Dr. Carl Bamlett, and you're about to discover exactly what Leanne, Gina, Summer, myself, and others have done to beat cancer, obesity, diabetes, painful joint inflammation, metabolic syndrome, fibromyalgia, IBS, Crohn's, and autoimmune diseases, all while we lost weight, regained good health, and greatly reduced our overdependence on expensive prescription drugs. And after we beat these chronic diseases, you'll hear what we used to maintain our good health for many years longer with no disfigurement from painful surgeries, no expensive medical prescriptions, and had absolutely no side effects. Now, let's take a moment and listen to their true stories. Meet Leanne Cooper. She was happy and full of life. Leanne thought she was healthy. Then, with absolutely no warning, the worst thing happened. Leanne was recently diagnosed with cancer. She is a victim of a deadly crisis sweeping America and the rest of the world. Her life was instantly thrown into a tailspin with a sudden and unexpected cancer diagnosis. Let's hear what she had to say.
My name's Leanne and I've been diagnosed with cancer, CLL, which is chronic lymphocytic leukemia, which essentially is cancer of the immune system and the lymphocytes. Cancer has affected my everyday life in quite a way that it's almost turned it upside down. I definitely did not see this coming. I felt I was in good health. I have lived a life of health and fitness for the last 25 years. And yes, it was a complete shock to me and my family and surroundings. When I got diagnosed, the doctor, the first thing he said to me, he wanted to put me on chemo, and I said no. And he did respect me for regards to that, which was great. A lot of physicians wouldn't, I understand. Now, I'm not telling anyone out there, do not get chemo, but the more natural, more clean your diet is, the better your body is able to heal. And do your research.
Cancer is one of the most destructive illnesses in the world. And I'm not here to tell you to stop taking any medication or chemotherapy. However, I am here to tell you about what doctors don't promote strongly enough, about fighting cancer and fostering long-term good health. Not knowing this can hurt you. It could even cost you your life or the life of a loved one. That's why it's so extremely important you watch to the end of this video, and then you'll know what Leanne did to improve her chances of beating cancer, so you can do what she did to significantly increase your chances of returning to good health and a normal life after a sudden cancer diagnosis. And then there's the weight loss story of 28-year-old Gina Broom. Gina was worried her constant symptoms of chronic fatigue, insomnia, and 65 pounds of excess weight gain were early symptoms of increasing insulin resistance, and she was afraid she would become pre-diabetic. Let's listen to Gina's incredible weight loss story and what she did to lose the weight and return to good health.
Hi, my name is Gina, and over the past 6 or 7 months or so, I've lost about 65 pounds. I kind of had this rule with myself, like get through the first 2 weeks. I just thought I can do 2 weeks. And that kind of helped me, like keeping my goals quite short term, helped me to, just sort of stick it out. Having lost weight, I have heaps more energy, heaps more confidence. People are a bit nicer to me, and I really like being smaller.
I'll show you exactly what Gina did to lose all 65 pounds and do it without feeling hungry and without excessive exercise. She got rid of her chronic fatigue, and I'm sure you'll agree she looks great. Gina not only lost 65 pounds, she took her health in her own hands, and she avoided a diagnosis of pre-diabetes. According to the American Diabetes Association, approximately 29 million Americans have diabetes, about 9.3% of the population. The Centers for Disease Control estimate that there are another 8 million Americans undiagnosed. I have startling new scientific research to show you, indicating the wrong kind of unhealthy bacteria in the gut can cause high levels of gut inflammation, which may cause you to be more susceptible to obesity and specifically type 2 diabetes. Just like Gina did, you need to know if you are at a risk for diabetes. And if you are, It is important to understand the steps you need to take to prevent yourself from becoming another diabetes statistic. And then there's the story of Jennifer's dad, a kind, elderly man who suffered with type 2 diabetes and had to take expensive daily insulin shots. I'd like you to meet his daughter, Dr. Jennifer Lamoureux, a registered pharmacist. Listen as she tells the story how he lost a significant amount of weight and eliminated his dependence on expensive diabetes medications.
As a pharmacist, I've watched a lot of people come into the pharmacy and they've been dispensed many drugs for diabetes, and I just really wanted to help them with their lifestyle changes because medicine really doesn't address lifestyle changes. And I especially saw that with my father. As he got older, he gained a lot of weight. He was eating the wrong kinds of foods, and it was really affecting him. He got diagnosed with pre-diabetes first, and then later, after a couple of years, he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And then a couple of years after that, he started taking insulin for diabetes, and it just got progressively worse. The medications are great to manage the disease, but it really doesn't help fight the disease and help you get your body back and get your health back. So one of the things that I did as a pharmacist was I looked at what kinds of foods would actually make a difference for diabetes, and spices are actually very good for diabetes because they're low calorie, and in a small amount of spices added to a smoothie would be able to have all kinds of medical benefits that help with diabetes. Benefits like detoxification, which helps you lose fat, and also anti-inflammation, which has anti-aging benefits. When I first approached my father with the smoothies, he kind of was very hesitant about it because he likes to eat a lot. He likes to, basically go to a buffet and fill his plate with lots of different foods, and I didn't realize how well it would take for him, but once he was doing it for a while, he ended up starting to lose a lot of weight. And the next thing I know, he sends me a before and after picture of himself, and the picture was just incredible. I couldn't believe how much weight he had lost and how different that he looked. And he told me that he felt, 20 years younger, and that he didn't have to take medications anymore. So this lifestyle change for him did actually improve his life drastically, and no more insulin shots. So that was even the best thing that could have ever happened.
The weight loss industry is booming. From natural supplements, meal replacements, meal plans, point systems, gym memberships, and personal trainers, we've all tried at least one of these to try and lose weight. We're told to count only 1,500 calories for women and 1,800 calories for men per day. We've all heard and tried that with little lasting results.
Johns Hopkins recently came out with a study that showed that calorie counting diets have not been effective, and this is an accumulation of over 1,000 studies. Why? Because when you're only focusing on the number of calories and not the quality of food, inevitably what occurs is you end up storing massive amounts of body fat and failing on your diet. Not to mention when people are really having to make this so complex that they have to worry about each and every calorie that goes into their body, rarely are they able to sustain this.
Extreme dieting, taking weight loss supplements, and only eating 500 calories a day can give you fast weight loss results. But the weight always comes back again because we aren't addressing the weight loss problem correctly. A lack of effort is not the problem. We are just following faulty information. You may be thinking to yourself, I saw the television show where those people lost heaps of weight by starving themselves and over-exercising. A recent study of the Biggest Loser participants have shown dramatic effects to the metabolism of the participants. Intense calorie restriction combined with excessive exercise has significantly damaged the metabolism of participants for years after the competition ended. The result of this metabolic damage has contestants regaining large amounts of weight. This is yo-yo dieting, and this is bad for your health. Extreme weight loss programs can lead to severe metabolism issues because starvation forces the body to burn muscle mass for energy with the extreme exercise programs these fat loss coaches follow. In fact, most participants see significant weight gain within a year. Extreme dieting like this isn't worth the risk to your health. Next, let's talk about chronically high stress levels, a poor diet, and lack of restful sleep, and how these factors affect your weight loss.
If you have a very inflammatory diet, that's one cause of leptin resistance. Being overweight obviously is another cause, and that is due just a lot of times to a poor diet, poor exercise, and just a lot of toxins disrupting your hormones in your body. So a lot of these things, they all go back to the same causes. So one of the best things you can do is to get more sleep. You need to just be able to optimize your body. So, optimize your diet, optimize exercise, optimize your sleeping patterns, optimize your stress levels. That's a huge one. Because when your stress levels are very high, it literally, stops weight loss in its tracks.
Over the last 20 years, fat-free and low-fat foods have been promoted as optimal choices for a healthy diet. Yet Americans have become sicker and hungrier and more dependent on prepackaged foods. Starting in the 1980s, we were told by many media sources and a number of health organizations, less fat is better, and cutting calories is a weight loss solution. The problem with this theory is it does not address the quality of the calories or the fact our bodies need calories to actually burn fat. Our bodies thrive on healthy calories, we just need to eat the right ones. So what do all these chronic illnesses have in common? This deadly health crisis, a silent, hidden threat, and it is ready to attack anyone, at any time. Even those people who look healthy, it can strike you and those who are close to you. And perhaps the scariest thing of all is, you may be at a greater risk if you look healthy. It's easy to get lulled into a false security when you look healthy on the outside. However, the right genes and a good metabolism can mask a huge number of growing problems that could be happening on the inside. And you could easily be at a higher risk of a few rogue cells going haywire and producing cancer, of chronic inflammation in the pancreas causing insulin resistance and diabetes, of poor gut health unleashing a massive growth of harmful bacteria, leading to a larger belly and possibly even worse, a diagnosis of autoimmune disease, of a clot letting loose inside an artery, leading to a sudden heart attack, a stroke, and premature death. Right now, I guarantee you this hidden threat is imminently closer than you could ever imagine. And here's the part that will chill you to the bone. This runaway health crisis that's affecting the good health of people is operating with the full knowledge and approval of the Food and Drug Administration and the United States government. You heard me correctly. The people you voted for to protect you have given the medical establishment, pharmaceutical conglomerates, and the food manufacturing companies the legal authority to hide the truth of this threat. Hello, I'm Dr. Carl Bamlett, a board-certified licensed chiropractor, certified nutrition specialist, and brain cancer survivor. And ever since I recovered from cancer, I've made it my mission to uncover the truth about what is making our generation sicker, fatter, and more fatigued than ever before. Unfortunately, I've discovered that the health of our generation has been severely compromised by the lobbying and sponsorship activities of the food, sugar, and pharmaceutical industries. Yet most health experts have been too scared to speak out about this publicly. As a result, significant portions of the common health and nutrition advice we've been brought up on actually harms the natural microbiome and the protective immune physiology inside our body. Be careful, because the effects of this silent threat may appear only minor at first, like achy muscles and joints, fuzzy thinking, lack of energy, a tiny bit of weight gain, numbness in the hands or feet, and sleep problems. You know, I thought I was healthy too. I grew up on a farm in southeastern Minnesota, and I had a pretty normal childhood, raised animals, played a lot of sports. I was very happy. I participated in baseball, football, and wrestling. Just all the normal things high school kids do. I'd get sprained ligaments and broken bones, and I'd go to the traditional medicine, and the doctors did an awesome job to help get me back to playing. And then in other instances, when I'd have a neck injury where I'd have numbness or tingling going down my arms or back pain, I'd have to go to a chiropractor and get adjusted because the mainstream drugs just didn't work to fix the problem and get me back to sport. And chiropractic worked great for that, and that made me very interested in that side of health too. And many months later, when my vision started to blur and I experienced excruciating headaches that came more often and lasted longer and longer, all these symptoms were early warning signs that something was seriously wrong with me. Like so many of us, my life was personally touched by cancer. At age 19, I was diagnosed with brain cancer. A pineal germinoma the size of a golf ball grew on my pineal gland in the center of my brain. I underwent 2 brain surgeries, chemotherapy, and radiation. My tumor was a germ cell germinoma, a type of cell that typically becomes sperm. What makes a future sperm cell travel to the brain and become a tumor, you may ask? This is the same question I had, and I asked all the specialists I talked with. None had an answer. We don't know what causes this to occur. My cancer diagnosis forced me to drop out of college to undergo chemotherapy, radiation, and 2 life-threatening brain surgeries. I was constantly weak and sick from the chemo drugs and vomited several times a day. I suffered with chemobrain, brain fog, and memory loss too. Although the surgeries and chemotherapy removed my tumor, I was told the brain cancer could come back. At the age of 19, I felt like I had a death sentence hanging over my head. I was terrified of what my life had become. After my cancer treatments were over, I returned to college. I didn't just want to fight cancer. I wanted to beat it. I became more and more aware of the people around me, falling victim to crippling conditions such as obesity, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, arthritis, fibromyalgia, metabolic syndrome, IBS, Crohn's, and autoimmune diseases. I saw my friends lose their parents from a disease at an age which was far too young for them to die. The suffering of my own close family members tore at me, seeing their lives being dictated by their disease. I saw the tears of fear in their eyes as more prescription drugs were prescribed as their symptoms got steadily worse. They felt hopeless as the disease took over control of their lives. This wasn't the future I wanted for myself or my loved ones. My cancer diagnosis and the suffering and death of my loved ones forced me to take my health into my own hands. I felt driven by desperation to keep my cancer-free prognosis and was on a mission to discover what I needed to change to live a long, full life. This began my journey into the world of natural disease prevention and reversal of chronic disease through natural methods. I returned to my university and studied chiropractic medicine and nutrition. I received a doctorate as a chiropractor, and afterwards I went on to complete a postgraduate certificate in acupuncture. I broadened my study beyond the Western model of medicine, as it didn't have all the answers I was looking for. My goal was to uncover natural solutions to permanently and sustainably transform health and enjoy an optimal quality of life. I studied Eastern medical practices which had shown incredible results in natural disease prevention and reversal. As I traveled and worked with and interviewed experts from all over the world, I rediscovered incredible natural disease preventions and treatments few American medical doctors knew existed. I investigated the claims of the pharmaceutical drug companies. I pored over the results of their studies to expose what was true and what was false about their claims. My purpose was to reveal the hidden truth to you so you can protect yourself and your loved ones. In my chiropractic and wellness clinic, I've worked with hundreds of patients who have experienced incredible health successes with a return to good health, even in cases where traditional medicine approaches had miserably failed. I've made it my life's mission to uncover the scientific truths and reveal them to you now so you can take back your health, lose weight, and enjoy a long, happy, disease-free life. This is why you are listening to me now, to discover what you need to know to heal your body naturally and reduce your dependence on prescription medications, and with my help, possibly get rid of them for good. Now, I know this from personal experience.
Cancer is such a big, scary word, right? But cancer isn't the problem. Cancer is just the symptom.
Studies have shown us that traditional ways of treating cancer are minimally effective in most cases. We are overdrugged and unhealthy. Something has to change. Shocking new cancer studies on the risk of chemotherapy have revealed a horrible truth. Studies are now suggesting that chemotherapy, in some cases, may actually end up feeding cancer cells and supplying them antibodies to prepare against further treatments. So we must ask ourselves, when conventional treatments may end up causing additional damage to our bodies, what other methods can we use to heal our bodies? The answer, of course, is to use food as medicine. Leanne, Gina, Jennifer's dad, and Summer are just a few of the victims of a broken healthcare system. What we did to regain our health and maintain it required no disfigurement from surgeries, no medical prescriptions, and had absolutely no side effects. What Leanne uses to fight her cancer, what Gina used to lose enough weight to avoid prediabetes, what Jennifer's dad used to lose enough weight to eliminate insulin and become diabetes-free, and Summer, whom you will hear from later, fixed her leaky gut, is the exact same thing I've used to remain cancer-free for the last 12 years. Now I want you to understand, we weren't the exceptions. People who had amazing luck becoming disease-free. Luck had nothing to do with it. We all faced a serious health crisis from a common enemy. It's the root cause of every chronic disease. This causes all forms of cancer, obesity, diabetes, joint inflammation, arthritis, heart, Crohn's disease, IBS, and even autoimmune diseases. Now, you're probably thinking, if you or a loved one has any chronic disease, our stories and what we did to beat our chronic illness and return to good health could change your life and of a loved one forever. Like I said earlier, my name is Dr. Carl Bamlett. I'm a cancer survivor, chiropractor, and a certified nutrition specialist. These true stories you've just heard and our recovery to good health is virtually unknown. But the details behind it and what I'm about to privately share with you are shaking up the medical establishment in ways we've never seen before. In fact, the reasons you're about to see, the media never reports on how people like Gina, Jennifer's dad, Summer, and myself became disease-free or explain how our chronic diseases disappeared. We bucked the medical establishment, striving to work with our body's natural health repair systems. Instead of covering up our symptoms with prescription drugs and life-threatening surgical treatments, which do nothing to fix the cause of the illness, the health secrets we use to beat our chronic diseases and restore our good health could have saved the lives of millions of people living in the United States. Of 598,038 men and women and innocent children who die every year of cancer, and 80,058 more who die every year of diabetes, and 777,402 who die every year of heart disease and stroke, and 51,537 who die every year of respiratory disease complications, and finally, 154,596 who die every year of kidney and autoimmune diseases. That's 1,661,631 innocent people dead and leaving weeping loved ones behind. Maybe you know of someone, a friend, a coworker, relative, or a loved one who has suffered and died from one of these dreaded chronic diseases. Few families are left unscathed. The suffering and the deaths and terrible heartache from these chronic diseases is absolutely crazy. Our government and the FDA should be ashamed for failing to take care of us. We trusted them to ensure we receive a healthy and pesticide-free food supply and proper health care, which allows for all forms of healing practices paid by medical insurance. It's completely unnecessary for people to suffer like this, especially with all the medical advances we have discovered. Sadly, half of all Americans live with at least one chronic disease, like heart disease, cancer, stroke, or diabetes. RAND research suggests nearly 150 million Americans live with at least one chronic condition, and 100 million have more than one. What's much worse is, nearly 30 million are living with 5 chronic conditions or more. What does this say about the quality of life we are living today? Each year, over 900,000 Americans die prematurely from the 5 leading causes of death. Yet 20% to 40% of the deaths could be prevented, according to a study from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The American Medical Association states a chronic disease takes a mother, father, son, or daughter's life every 3 minutes. That means 19 lives every hour, 4,552 lives per day, 1,661,631 people suddenly gone year after year. This silent threat is killing us. Most people think there's nothing they can do. No warning signs, no symptoms, no chance to change. Yet I'm here to prove to you there is. If you've ever seen firsthand the devastating effects any one of these chronic diseases can do to a loved one or even yourself, then you understand my anger and why I feel driven to expose the hidden truth behind this growing epidemic of obesity and chronic disease is more than just a personal obligation for me. Because of my own cancer diagnosis and recovery, it's personal. Knowing what I know now to be true, I cannot stay silent any longer. Many inside government and major corporations involved in this health crisis would rather the information you're about to hear stayed hidden from public view. Many people are now experiencing the onset of chronic diseases earlier in life than ever before. My cancer diagnosis at the young age of 19 forced me to undertake a mission to discover the real cause and what, if anything, I could do to stop the damage to my body before it was too late. Because if you're like Leanne, Gina, Jennifer's dad, Summer, and myself, and you've been diagnosed with a chronic disease, you already know what's waiting for you at the end of a long, slow, and painful health decline. It no longer feels like there's such a thing as a minor health condition. In fact, this is why. In our modern society, going to the doctor for anything from indigestion to arthritis, asthma to psoriasis, or any other ailment most commonly results in a prescription for drugs. We often blame doctors or pharmaceutical companies for our overprescription of drugs, but are they really the problem? Or is their existence due to a longer, more deeply ingrained problem? Are they just filling a perceived need?
We live in a culture that loves a shortcut.
We've gone from trying to figure out what's causing disease to figuring out what pill to throw at the patient that you have 7 minutes to see.
Because while they may help with the symptom, they never get to the root issue.
The lack of success on the war on drugs shows how much of a struggle it is to eliminate the reliance on these substances.
The drug industry controls the flow of medical information. The corruption is extreme.
If we're told something over and over and over again, whether it's the truth or not, whether science backs it up or not, it eventually just becomes commonplace. And so many people are sick in this country right now, and for most of them, the only answer that they see is to cover up their symptoms with a medication. Now the problem with that is where do you draw the line, right? Because those medications create more problems and more problems and more problems. And because the medications never actually address the root cause of why that illness is there in the beginning, right? That illness actually gets worse. So most people have to take more of that medication and more of that medication, and they're on it for life. As a physician, as a functional medicine doctor, that scares me, you know? As a father, that concerns me as well. Again, we need to always address that root cause of why somebody's sick in the first place, not try to cover up those things with pharmaceuticals.
It is undeniable that some pharmaceuticals have their place and time, but it's our over-reliance on them that's one of the biggest causes of our health issues as a society. We've created a whole new problem with the way we've been treating our diseases. Millions of men, women, and children rely on prescription medications to maintain their health, but they aren't getting any better. This has to change. So what's the culprit that is causing all this sickness? This innocent little substance. This is the real enemy. This is virtually killing us. This enemy is sugar. The total cost of diabetes and prediabetes in the US is $322 billion a year. Certain health organizations tell us a healthy diet can't control diabetes, and it is more complex than eating sugars. These same health organizations are sponsored by the companies that produce these sugar-filled, highly processed foods that are responsible for our poor health, and by the companies who supply the drugs for treatment. You're either feeding your body high-quality foods or you're giving it negative nutrition which breaks your body down. Negative nutrition feeds cancer, obesity, diabetes type 1 and 2, heart disease, arthritis, fibromyalgia, IBS, Crohn's, autoimmune disease, and even strokes. Chronic disease is completely preventable, and I'll show you how. When your blood glucose levels drop below 125 milligrams per deciliter, you are no longer in the diabetic range. And if it drops below 100 milligrams per deciliter, you're no longer pre-diabetic. Keeping your blood sugar at a low level is what we want. To help manage your diabetes through diet, we need to look at the big question. What is sugar? It's the million-dollar question, or the trillion-dollar industry. Sugar, or glucose, is not only the white powdered stuff we add to food to make it taste good. It's processed carbohydrates too. Processed carbohydrates are mostly glucose in the form of starch. So every time you eat rice, pasta, bread, crackers, chips, fries, popcorn, oatmeal, cereal, and granola, or drink juice, soda, or any sweetened beverage, you are consuming sugar. These food manufacturers have put massive amounts of sugar in our foods without us knowing. There are over 60 names for hidden sugar on a food label. If you don't know them, you can be tricked. It's very easy to be tricked. It's very hard to stop eating sugar when you don't even know that it's there. Yet this is only part of the problem. The addictive nature of sugar, combined with high stress levels of our modern world, along with misinformation from the food industry on what is classified as healthy and unhealthy, has resulted in more than 1/3 of our population diabetic or pre-diabetic, with an additional 5 million people getting the disease each year.
Type 2 diabetes is also known as insulin resistance, and what most conventional doctors do is beat on the pancreas to get more insulin out, so to overcome the insulin resistance. To me, a much more sensible approach is to decrease the insulin resistance, increase sensitivity. So what's that about? There's a lot of toxins that interfere with the shape of the insulin receptor. If the insulin receptor is distorted, you're going to need more insulin to get the job done. So how about cleaning out the insulin receptor, getting rid of heavy metals and various chemicals, persistent organic pollutants that cause the problem in the first place, and thereby meaning that the body doesn't need to produce so much insulin to get the job done. Secondly, eating fewer cheap carbs makes a big difference. Losing weight makes a big difference. And to me, it's a no-brainer. You either try to restore normal physiology or you beat on the body to try to get it to do something that it wouldn't naturally be doing.
And now, I have a serious health alert question for you. Could any of these nagging symptoms such as muscle aches, chronic pain, lack of energy, fuzzy thinking, asthma, ringing in the ears, digestive issues, hot flashes, poor mood, and lack of restful sleep be a ticking time bomb to a hidden and yet extremely serious health issue? How would you know? If you're worried about your future health or the health of someone you care about, then you absolutely need to know about the remarkable health discovery I used to beat cancer and live cancer-free for the last 12 years. This is the same natural health discovery Leanne, Gina, Jennifer's dad, Summer, and myself used to return to better health and maintain it. I know you're thinking you want to get this so you can regain your health and live chronic disease-free too. And yet, if you're still a little skeptical, that's okay. I can understand how you feel. If you've ever had a serious health issue or been diagnosed with a serious illness and are battling it now, you may be wondering if there is anything you can do to restore your good health. Remember, I had cancer and lived with the fear of dying too young also. So what do I know about having near perfect health that many doctors don't know? For years, scientists looked to create a magic bullet to destroy all illnesses. Take it and your illnesses would vanish like magic. There was only one problem. No one thing can target so many different ailments. So I took an innovative, completely new approach. I used my body as a human guinea pig. I discovered how certain foods can tell the body to switch on its own defense mechanism, to go into an attack mode on dead or dying cells, and transform them into new and healthy tissue. This defense switch worked to kickstart cancer defenses with a higher or more natural immune response. Another internal switch I discovered turned on a higher fat-burning metabolic rate to burn deep body fat much faster, so people could more easily lose weight and keep it off, and avoid complications with diabetes. Then I found an anti-inflammatory switch to cool down and reduce inflammation and combat pain by repairing free radical damage in cells all through the body, including the liver, heart, brain, kidney, muscles, and joints. And yet another internal switch fixed leaky gut syndrome by activating the growth of beneficial bacteria, by killing off destructive bacteria in the gut to help rebalance the body's microbiome, the natural balance of good to bad bacteria. After years of trials, by activating these internal switches inside the body, I saw incredible health changes in my own body and of my patients, which can only be called miraculous. What I've discovered is by activating all these internal switches, you can take the power of your health back into your own hands. In just a few short minutes, I'll show you exactly how to fight any chronic disease you're suffering from, or fear you'll get. And I'll show you how to feel good and be healthy again. But before I do, I need to answer one big question many of my patients ask me. What is leaky gut? Leaky gut syndrome, or intestinal permeability, is a rapidly growing condition that affects millions of people all across the world. It's a condition where the walls of our gut become porous. Holes develop so that undigested food particles and toxins pass into the bloodstream. When unwanted molecules enter the bloodstream, it causes an autoimmune response in the body, including inflammatory and allergic reaction symptoms such as migraines, irritable bowel syndrome, eczema, chronic fatigue, food allergies, and more. Also, leaky gut is a component in almost all cases of autoimmune diseases. So when you hear statistics such as these, over 50 million Americans are currently suffering from autoimmune disease. 42.5 million Americans are suffering from a mental illness, and 1 in 3 American adults have been categorized as obese. You have to consider the gut health of our nation. But it's actually not our digestive system that's the key player here. It's the ecosystem of microbes that make up our microbiome that live inside our gut that we need to worry about. So what is the microbiome? It's defined as a community of microbes. Your gut microbiome is a rich ecosystem made up of trillions of bacteria, viruses, and fungi located in your intestinal tract. These microbes collectively weigh around 3 to 5 pounds, which is roughly the weight of your brain. The bacteria in our guts can break down food the body can't digest, produce important nutrients, protect against harmful germs, and regulate the immune system. They are also involved in many other processes, including your metabolism, body weight, brain health, and mood. The gut is in a constant state of war. Arming the opposing forces and starving your own men is a sure way to lose the war. And losing the war means that your health will suffer the ill consequences. Poor gut health has also been heavily associated with and believed to be the cause of many terrible conditions and diseases. In fact, poor gut health is a perfect setup for getting cancer. Now let's hear from Summer Bach. She's experienced issues with her own gut microbiome, but she's found lasting ways to improve her health.
I was super sick, and I didn't know it at first. I didn't have the awareness that what I was experiencing wasn't normal. I had all sorts of digestive issues. I had bloating, I was overweight, and I had really bad food allergies to the point where I could only eat about 30 foods without having a reaction. And it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Like, stress really exacerbated the situation for me and brought me to this point where I was having panic attacks 3 to 5 times a week.
That's when she went to her doctor for some help to find out what was wrong.
I show up at her office, my eyes are swollen, my nose is running, I'm itchy all over, I have hives, I'm miserable. It was very excruciating. And I go and I sit down in her office and she looks at me and she's like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What am I mean, look at me." And she's like, "But your blood work looks great, you're perfectly healthy." And she goes, you know more about this than I do. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna write a prescription, you're not gonna take it, I don't think it's gonna do anything anyway, so what are you doing here? And it was that moment where I left her office, I went home, and I just had this full body experience. I realized, there really isn't gonna be somebody that's gonna save me here. I have to do this myself. I have to take 100% responsibility for my health. I just had to go out on a limb and trust in that moment that I wasn't broken. I just decided I'm gonna heal it. And from that point forward, the way I approached my healing process totally changed at that point.
That's when Summer changed her diet and her health turned around as the nagging symptoms vanished. As an expert in natural health and healing, I can tell you the best kind of healing is when you support your body's own rejuvenating powers to help your body heal itself. In fact, thousands of happy people take the time to call or write us to say my natural health solutions work because they can actually feel the difference inside their bodies and tell us they know it's working because they feel better. I've already shared a few of their personal stories with you, and their health challenges and their health successes. And right now, it's important and the right time we talk about your health recovery. Why put up with another day of feeling lousy when you don't have to? You can trigger the natural healing powers inside your body so you feel good again. Your chronic pain and nagging symptoms are a huge red alert you need to pay serious attention to. I didn't. That was a huge mistake I made. I got cancer and it almost cost me my life. Your body is designed to heal itself if you know how to help it, and I'm here to show you how. Medical prescriptions can maintain the current state of your health, but they can't improve it, and they come at a very high cost. What I recommend for you to do is safer, smarter, and is a much more affordable way to get back to good health and keep it for life. How might your life improve? If you could cut back on doctor's visits because you didn't need to take prescription medications, you could save on all that doctor's appointment hassle and money. How much better about yourself would you feel if you lost all the weight you wanted and had more energy and enjoyed clearer thinking and felt more secure knowing you had a much stronger immune system while naturally protecting your good health? Might you experience more feelings of confidence in having good health for the rest of your life? Sure you would. And that's what I'm here to give you. Best of all, I found the clinical science that shows what I recommend has been proven in human studies to work to help ease all these symptoms you're feeling right now. I will caution you to always discuss any changes to your regimen with a physician you trust before making any life changes. The formula for this ancient tonic is proving safe, effective, and simple to use when taken as directed. Anyone can use the recommendations to transform their health, boost energy, support healthy blood pressure and blood sugar, lose weight, balance poor mood, bolster their immune system, and help avoid chronic diseases too. This health discovery ensured I would remain cancer-free for 12 years. Remember, as a chiropractor and certified nutrition specialist, I'd already worked with my doctor to help me beat my cancer. But nothing he told me to do could get rid of all my cancer risks or prolong my good years of life. In fact, my team and I have helped thousands of women, men, and children understand what was wrong so they could restore their good health and vitality to add many good, healthy years to their lives. If you have any of the symptoms of chronic inflammation I've covered, and you ignore your symptoms, this will raise your risk of malformed cells leading to cancer, diabetes, heart disease, arthritis, and autoimmune diseases. If you suffer from any chronic disease, or you are afraid you may be at risk, you need to take action now before your symptoms get out of hand and it is too late. Remember earlier when I told you I'd show you what I recommend you do to get rid of your nagging symptoms for good? Well, here it is. Introducing Food, Health, and You, the Complete Implementation System. This transformational system contains 8 comprehensive modules that not only uncovers nutritional truths that have been hidden from you for years, but also contains the comprehensive implementation guidebook so that you know exactly what to do to improve your health and that of your family. Plus, it also contains a full color recipe book. These are recipes we have cooked, eaten, and photographed ourselves. They are delicious, easy to prepare, and designed to support the health of your gut, mind, and entire body. Throughout this comprehensive implementation system, I expose the blatant misinformation about good health care on billboards, in the media, playing on TV commercials, and printed on the packaged foods you buy. We reveal the cover-ups by the greedy FDA, our government, and food manufacturers, and the information about sugar and artificial sweeteners, low-fat and fat-free foods, and how this harms your health. You'll hear the real truth about gluten, soy, and food allergies, which in many cases are causing sickness, fat buildup in unwanted areas, and allergies in people around the world. You'll see practical information how to more easily burn deep body fat and lose weight faster. You'll know exactly what to do to fight cancer, what you can do to prevent diabetes and improve your gut health with prebiotics and probiotics. You'll see how to get relief from joint pain and how to beat chronic inflammation all through your body by improving your microbiome to boost your natural immunity to avoid many autoimmune diseases. You'll be thrilled with all the new health revelations you can use to fight and prevent chronic disease, lose weight, boost your energy so you can add many more happier, healthy, and disease-free years to your life. With your copy of Food, Health, and You, the Complete Implementation System, you can sit back and relax and watch the videos. You can use our guidebook to take notes. You can try our recipes or make your own variations. Food Health and You is a complete implementation system designed to give you the healing knowledge you need today so you can avoid low nutrition foods, eat right, and exercise less and still lose weight. You know how to find the harmful toxins hidden in the foods so you can boost your body's natural immunity and feelings of wellness. It's the right time for you to get this, so then you can stop feeling the fear of getting a chronic disease like cancer or diabetes. Here's just a small taste of what you'll discover inside Food, Health, and You. The scary truth about sugar, diabetes, and your gut health. How to get rid of deep body fat and how to burn fat faster. The deadly truth about diabetes, even most medical doctors don't know. How a better microbiome gives your body the nutrition it craves. Leaky gut, the real truth about gluten and leaky gut syndrome. Cancer, how to help boost your body's cancer-fighting responses. What causes autoimmune system diseases and how to help your body heal. Are fake sweeteners actually worse on the body than eating real sugar? These modules come complete with the Food, Health, and You companion guide. Here we look at the real reasons why type 2 diabetes, cancer, heart disease, dementia, and obesity are increasing at a terrifying rate. We reveal the truth about what really works when it comes to preventing these diseases. Inside, you'll find episode recaps, notes, exercises, and quick quizzes that will get you incredible health results faster and easier. You can use it to lose weight, gain energy, live longer, and prevent disease simply and naturally. Plus, you'll also receive our transformational cookbook. The Food, Health, and You Transformational Cookbook is one of the most comprehensive and delicious recipe books for healthy eating on the planet. Our in-house chef, Ronnie, will guide you through transitioning to the ultimate diet to suit your personal needs to help you start feeling your best. And with over 200 delicious recipes to choose from, you will never struggle to choose what tasty dish to eat every night. Now imagine having less worry about getting a chronic disease and being healthier with abundant energy, clearer thinking, and a higher immunity and a happier mood. What would this be worth to you and your loved ones? Imagine you are out working in your garden, taking a walk, playing with your kids and grandkids, and doing all the things you love pain-free and worry-free, without any side effects from prescriptions because you don't spend money on them anymore. I know you've enjoyed all the true stories and the expert health advice from me and from medical experts around the world. And yet, what you've received so far is just a small glimpse of all I have to give you. When you get the complete implementation system, you will know exactly what you need to do to lose deep body fat, prevent cancer, avoid diabetes, reduce your risk of heart attacks and strokes, ease pain and inflammation from arthritis, heal a leaky gut, and deal with autoimmune disease issues. You'll get the answers you've been looking for to help you and your loved ones return to better health. In just a moment, you'll get your private access to Food, Health, and You's complete implementation system. Then you will start feeling better, and you can do it completely risk-free. You'll also receive our triple 60-day money-back guarantee. If you're not absolutely thrilled with Food, Health, and You's complete implementation system, and if it doesn't make you feel less worried about how to take better care of your precious health, you're entitled to your money back. If you're not certain that this implementation system does do everything we say it does, and it isn't better than any other health program you've tried, you're entitled to your money back. If you start eating better and you're not feeling an increase in energy, clearer thinking, sleeping deeper and longer, and waking up feeling a better mood than you have in a while, all while avoiding chronic diseases or beating the ones you've already got, you're entitled to your money back. We firmly believe our system is one of the best health and wellness systems for superior chronic disease prevention and healing information that's available anywhere at any price. We promise, after you complete the 8 modules, you'll agree, it's the most comprehensive, informative, and most useful health and nutrition information you've ever seen. And if you disagree with this for any reason, you don't pay a penny. It's that simple. We stand behind Food, Health, and You 100%. By now, you know it's vital you get this implementation system right away. You know it's a smart choice because it's just pennies on the dollar compared to what you're spending on medical costs and prescriptions. You're probably thinking, if I only get 1 or 2 good pieces of expert health advice, I could start feeling better and being more active and be healthier than I've felt in years. Remember, when you have your health, you have everything. What I have to give you is safe, affordable, and works for most illnesses you may be experiencing right now. What I am asking you to invest is a small price to pay for peace of mind and better health. As you go through the modules, you'll see why Food, Health, and You is a very wise investment in your health. It's a whole lot more than a great docu-series. It's everything you need to integrate these life-saving changes into your life. You don't have to completely surrender to the whims of pharmacies and doctors' offices. Not when you can claim your best years yet. You can take up new hobbies, feel younger, and live a fuller life than ever before. Some people have even told me that knowledge like this is one of the best forms of health insurance they can get. Good health is something we can't put a price tag on. Wouldn't you agree with me? You can get your private access to the Food, Health, and You, the complete implementation system, today. Just try it. It's absolutely 100% risk-free. And then, rest assured, you're onto a great path towards long-term health and vitality. The moment you join, you will receive instant online access to your Food, Health, and You, the complete implementation system. We never know when we could be forced to take this website down. There are only a limited number of membership spots open, so please secure your spot right now. You'll feel instant relief right after you confirm your order. And now, because you've watched this far and you got in before our membership was sold out, we'd like to personally thank you and give you 3 additional free gifts. These costed over $125,000 to produce. You'll see why when you see the quality of production that has gone into this. But I want you to have them at no additional cost because I care so much about you and your health. And I want to make sure you don't miss out on this vital information. Gift number 1 is 4 additional modules of Food, Health, and You, plus written guides. These include Module 9 is Soy Causing Sickness. Module 10, Beating Inflammation and Joint Pain. Module 11, Exploring the Links Between Food and Depression. And Module 12, Pharmaceuticals, the Health Heist of the Century. And of course, each of these come complete with a corresponding written guide, so you'll know how to apply what you learn into your life. The next gift I have for you is the top 77 superfoods for healing. As you read this premium special report, you'll discover the top 77 superfoods for healing. All food is not equal, and this incredible food guide makes it easy to choose foods to fast-track healing no matter what your health condition. You'll be thrilled by what you discover about healthy foods in your 50-page superfoods book. The third gift I have for you is a 21-day meal plan for smarter detoxification for faster weight loss. We've included a Smart Detox for Faster Weight Loss guide, which includes easy to make and delicious recipes to help improve liver health to speed detoxification with improved weight loss in a complete 21-day meal plan. This is a $197 value, and it's yours absolutely free. Remember, all you need to do to get them is click the Add to Cart button below, and I'll rush you all 4 premium bonus gifts valued at $784 absolutely free. It's time you regain the youthful, energetic, and healthy life you deserve. So secure your order of Food, Health, and You, the complete implementation system today. This offer is for a limited time only, and I'd hate to see you miss out on what could be the most remarkable discoveries to getting and staying healthy you've ever heard. It's time for you to get rid of your fears and be in control of your health. You can put your trust in me. I promise you, Food, Health, and You gives you everything you need to know to protect your precious health of yourself and your loved ones. Already, there are over 5,793 people who are improving their health from watching the videos and using the guides and cookbook from Food, Health, and You. You'll get better peace of mind with Food Health and You, with lifetime access to the videos, guides, and quizzes too. You want to protect the health and wellness of yourself and your loved ones, don't you? Of course you do. Then I urge you to look below and click the button to reserve your access to Food Health and You. Try it. And if you decide that this implementation system is not everything you hoped it was, you don't pay a penny for it. Remember, if you are not completely satisfied, you'll get a 100% refund with no questions asked. Don't you owe it to yourself and your loved ones to get Food Health and You? Click the Add to Cart button now. Secure your access to the complete implementation system right now. Thank you for listening. Here's to your transformed health. Dr. Carl Bamlant, brain cancer survivor, chiropractor, and certified nutrition specialist.